Today, Baba is underlining the importance of sitting in soul consciousness before knowledge is shared. Baba says, even when we are sharing knowledge with somebody, it is very important that we make them sit in soul consciousness before we start sharing the knowledge with them. And we will only teach what we practice. So, first, let me ask myself, have I made it a habit to sit in remembrance of Baba before I take the food of knowledge? Baba always compares yoga to taking a bath and knowledge to food. And Baba says, just like, it is recommended that before having breakfast or food, you have a bath. Similarly, Baba says that you must sit in yoga, in Baba's remembrance, before you listen to knowledge. And you see, that is why in the class also, the design is 15 minutes of yoga before we start the class. And then we end also with a short reminder. Now, this is a system that is followed because there is a reason behind it. If you are consumed by the matters of the world and your buddhi is wandering and you are in body conscious state, the most important thing is, if you are in body conscious state, then any point of knowledge won't make sense to you. Because Baba is speaking to the soul. And if the soul is body conscious and not sitting in self-awareness, then the knowledge that the Supreme Soul speaks for the soul won't make sense to the soul. And you obviously cannot imbibe what doesn't make sense to you. And it is very important to tune into soul consciousness before we listen to knowledge. And that tuning takes some time, at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of sitting in soul consciousness we have to do. And yesterday we were discussing how, it takes a lot of time to disconnect or detach your mind from the matters of the world and come to the awareness of the soul. So you have to give yourself that amount of time. So, otherwise, this profound knowledge, this powerful knowledge will be reduced to information. And, the difference between information and knowledge is you will get exhausted with information, but you will get strengthened with knowledge. So if you have too much information, slowly, gradually, you will develop hatred for that information. I'm not even telling dislike. I'm using a very strong word. You will develop hatred for that information because too much of it. Have you seen that in these days there is too much of every information? And then what happens is you develop a very strong dislike, and you also get, you get to a point where you start doubting what is true because it's just information. And then, it doesn't solve anything. It confuses you more and more. And knowledge is very different. Knowledge is something, when you imbibe, it strengthens you, it makes you peaceful, loveful, it cleanses you of all the, false belief systems. Knowledge is something that changes us from tamo pradhan to sato pradhan. But in order that it is not information and it is knowledge, we have to pay attention to sitting in soul consciousness. These days I have seen that, many children don't pay that attention. And what they do is, they are doing anything, and then there's a class going on, and they just keep listening to, the class. And that is not the way you listen to knowledge. When you listen to knowledge, you have to first prepare yourself, prepare your consciousness to, withdraw it from everything else and sit in self-awareness. You have to recognize that this is Baba speaking to you. And with that regard, you have to listen to it. And then you have to make notes. You should have a notebook and pen. And and whatever you are doing, if you're not doing it properly, then it will it will not help you in the long run. So that is why, we are time and again saying that you should sit with your video on and sit properly. But if you're not switching on your video, of course, you are sitting in your comfort zone. And then I don't know whether, you are imbibing knowledge or not, because it is just information. And I'm telling you, you will get very disgusted with information very soon. So it is very important that we understand this. And Baba says that, and let me tell you that I personally have a practice that before I listen to knowledge, before I give a class, I sit at least half an hour in yoga before that. So if this class is at 7:30, I am on the seat by 7. It is never after that. And every class, if I conduct 3 classes or I record a murli or whatever I do, it is half an hour before that I sit in yoga. Because of course you will, otherwise it will have the, vibration of body consciousness. Because nobody can claim that I'm soul conscious 24/7. No, that's just fooling yourself and others. So you have to take out the time to tune into that state of Baba's remembrance and soul consciousness. And we make that effort. And I see there are children who join late or who don't care to, sit properly, or, who are just busy with other things. And then they're also on the side listening to Gyan. That is not the way. And Baba says that you will also teach what you practice. So when you practice this, then you understand that you have to be in proper consciousness. Only then can you share knowledge. So when you start sharing knowledge with somebody also, you have to make them sit in silence for some time, give a commentary, because, just by saying that become soul conscious, nobody will become soul conscious. That we can do with souls who are already introduced to knowledge. But when somebody comes, somebody fresh comes, then, I have seen there are many people who give the course and they don't start meditation from day one. They say that, meditation we will do later. No. Whenever somebody comes, something very basic like just sit still, silent, and withdraw your attention from everything else and bring it to your face and then take it inwards, visualize a point of light. At least that much you have to do. Even if they don't understand knowledge, it's okay. Even if they have no introduction of the soul, it's okay. You can refrain from using those terms like that. But you have to make them, go through a process where they detach their awareness from everything around them and come to that awareness of silence and peace. And only then, when you share knowledge with them, they will be receiving it. And second thing, check in between also. If you're sharing knowledge with somebody, then keep interacting. And the best form of interaction is, do you have any question about what I said? Okay, so please share what you understood. Don't tell them please repeat, because then they think, you are assuming that they didn't listen. So you can do that also if you are that authoritative. But I choose to, tell them, please share what you understood out of it. And then you realize they didn't get anything because they were not listening. So, sometimes you have told everything, but then that person that you're talking to, their mind and intellect are not stable. They are just, all over the place. So they are not listening to it. So, in order that your time is not wasted and they are getting it, you have to share little things, but you have to keep checking that they are sitting in awareness. And these points are very important. But the most important point is, we say yatha raja tatha praja. This is a very big law. As is the king, so is the subject. And I will tell you something very, very, this is an inside information, that when a BK child recommends a student, recommends somebody, then we also see that BK child who is recommending, what kind of a child is that? Is that a child who imbibes and follows disciplines and everything? Because the automatic law is, the one you are introducing will become like you. They will not become like the one who is giving the course. They will become like you. So that is the interesting thing. And it is very important that if you are imbibing everything, you are doing everything in the right way, then they will also do it. And it takes some time, it takes around, it takes a lot of time for them to become, for them to start having their intellects yoga with the teacher who is teaching. The one who introduced them, they have their yoga with them. And that has an effect of the child who comes. So we also see who brought them. And we see that, they become exactly like them. That is also there. So sometimes we don't even know who recommended. And later we know that, yes, especially with online classes, we see that we sometimes don't know who referred them to the course or something. But later, when you see both the children, they are the same. They have the same kind of same mistakes they are making, and same kind of dharana they are having. So this is also there. And if you are doing everything as Baba says, then even if you have not become an instrument for many today, you will become an instrument. So please make yourself, please make yourself a good student. Please make yourself a disciplined one. And that will help you become an instrument for many. Just by being who you are, you can serve many. Okay. So this is one thing. Second thing Baba talks about today is children who are good effort makers. Yes, and who is a good effort maker? Those who have a good aim. Yes, so the interesting thing is, it's not your speed. So your speed of effort, your intensity of effort, and your quality of effort is determined by what is your aim. Yes, so if your aim is just to be free from obstacles in this world, or stay in peace, so sometimes we think that Baba's children have common aim, but that's not true. All Baba's children don't have a common aim. So every child has to look into their heart and ask yourself, what is my aim? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I attending classes? Why am I having yoga with Baba? So the aim differs. Some people, even some BKs, they have very limited aims. Yes, like, some are here to cure their bodies, some are here for just passing their time well. Some are here for, overcoming obstacles of this life. Some are here for peace and happiness in this life. Some are here for just having a good attitude and not being reactive in situations. But what is the aim that Baba gives us? Baba gives us the aim that you be here to become Lakshmi Narayan, to claim number one. Yes. And one has to ask himself, one has to ask oneself, what is the aim with which I am here? Yes. And do you know that there are many, so when there is a university in the world, then there are many people going to the university. Even the auto wala who stands outside the university gate, he's going to the university every day. And he's also dropping people every day. There's a chai wala in the university also. Yes, there is a sweeper also. But they're not going to study. Yes, it's not like they plug their ears when the class is going on. And this thing, our professor told us when I was studying in the university. There was one sweeper, and he was sweeping the outside the room when the class was going on. And our professor, he said, this person, do you think his ears are closed? So we said no. So he said he's also listening to class, but will he become a master's in economics? So we said no. So he said, so why? So somebody said, because he doesn't sweep outside every day. So they said, no, but you might also be the sweeper sitting in the class, not paying attention to the class, and then you will sweep outside some days later. And this was something that is said, and I don't know, it stayed with me, and I thought that I don't want to be the person who sits in the class and doesn't listen to class. And you see, it is the aim that matters. And Baba says that when you're sitting here, you might be listening to the class, you might be sitting in yoga, you might be getting up at Amrit Vela, you might be having food in Baba's remembrance. But ask yourself, what is your aim? And do you have the aim to be part of the rosary? Yes, so not just become a deity, but be part of the rosary. And the rosary has 16,108 souls in it, maximum. So do you aim to be amongst the 8, amongst the 108, amongst the 16,108? And Baba says, just ask yourself. And when you have that aim, then you will, if you listen to the points that everybody imbibes from a murli. So of course in this class we are discussing only 2 or 3 points, but in the murli there are many points. There are at least 300 points if you count them. And if you ask every child which point they imbibed, that point that they're imbibing tells a lot about the aim they have. And everybody imbibes a different point. And in my experience, those children who imbibe the points of yoga and pay attention to the points of remembrance, they are the ones who have the aim of becoming a part of the rosary. Yes, because they are thinking about, they are listening to what Baba is saying about how to intensify yoga and how to, better their yoga. And the qualification of those souls, what you see them doing in action is they are paying a lot of attention to having a good chart of remembrance. And for those children who don't even send a chart of remembrance, that means they are not keeping a chart of remembrance. And that means they are not remembering Baba. Because, have you seen when you are in school, if you have done your homework, you are the ones who rush to the teacher to show the homework. Yes, because you've done it. And if you're not rushing to the teacher, that means you have not done your homework. So I don't know of that there are humble BKs who exist who are maintaining their chart and not submitting it. Any BK, if we are really remembering Baba and having a good chart of remembrance, we would submit it every day. We would run to submit it. And we have to see how much attention we are paying to remembrance, because remembrance is the main subject. You may understand a lot, but if your sanskars are not changing, then this is a life of struggling, not becoming. And sanskars will change only through remembrance. It's not like your struggle will get lesser if you fight with your sanskars a lot. No. You don't have to fight with your sanskars. You don't fight with darkness. You switch on the light. You have to remember Baba. And those children who make an effort to detach their mind and intellect all day from matters of the world and stay in remembrance, because there are 10,000 things pulling your mind and intellect. And you are not leaving the world. You're living in the world. And then you are detaching your mind and intellect. So you need to make that effort every now and then and stay on this journey of remembrance. And those are the children who are called good effort makers. And Baba says that you have to ask yourself, what is my aim? And I remember there was this one brother, and he told me that, so I asked him, why do you come every day? So he said, because I have nothing to do from 7 to 8, so I come here. So I said that, okay, that's fine. If that's your initial reason for coming, that's also fine. But don't make it your final reason. And he said, then what should be my reason? So I said that you want to become the number one deity. And then he said, okay. And then from that day onwards, I saw a shift in him. And he said that, I liked it that you said it's okay if I come with that initial reason. Because yes, I came with that. But then yes, what you're saying is, if Baba is saying that you can become a deity, why not? He was a businessman, so he was 75 or 78 years of age. So he said, okay, I can't listen, I can't hear enough, but then I will try. And he used to take a notebook and pen and keep writing, and he would make notes, and he would send his chart, and he really made good effort. And when he left the body, he had a very good state of mind. So this is the thing, even if we have not been doing it until today, let me ask myself, what is my aim? And I remember when I took the course, then after the course, Didi made me sit down and asked me, what did you understand? So I said, I don't know what is the right answer. So she said, no, you give me your answer. So I said, I understood you have to do some things. So she said, I remember, and those words echo in my ears. She said, this is the place, this is the factory to change humans into deities. And if you are not having that aim, then this place is not for you. And then I said, okay. So then I started thinking about that from day one. So this is the thing, that aim decides the qualifications. Baba always says, Lakshya se lakshan. Yes, if you don't have the aim, I remember there was this one sister, and she used to be very slow in doing everything. And then there was another person, and they told her, do everything fast, because there's a lot to be done and there's so much seva. And then what she did is she would move her body fast, but the work would be done that much only. And she was shaking very fast, but that work was at the same speed. So then I told that sister, don't tell her what to do, tell her why she is doing it. If she understands this is Baba's seva, if she understands the importance of time, if she understands the importance that, if this seva is completed in time, then so many would benefit, then she would do it fast. And then that sister said, no, I can't give so much of, I can't knock my brain with her so much. So you see, this is the thing. It is not what so you are not, it's not like you're not capable. You can do everything, but you just don't have the aim. And slowly, gradually, after 5 years, I saw that same sister, and she had got that aim. She had understood that this is Baba's home and she is doing everything to create her own fortune. And then she started doing it very differently. So ask yourself, what is your aim? And then Baba today says something very interesting. So there are many points in the Murli, but some I will just talk about. So Baba says, lust is a sword and anger is an evil spirit. Yes, so let me ask you, if you are faced with a sword and an evil spirit, which one would you choose? So if you had a choice, so which one would you not even choose? Which one would you be more wary of? Which one is, more dangerous? The sword or the evil spirit? Huh? Which one? Evil spirit? No, the sword. Because the sword will kill you. The evil spirit, even if it enters you, there are ways you can get rid of it. But the sword, once and for all, it will finish your game. So you're gone. So that is why Baba says, lust is like that. It kills your spirit. And this is a very interesting thing, that the soul is called the spirit. And the spirit in the soul, or the purity, the enthusiasm, the zeal, everything is an aspect of soul consciousness. So when you're soul conscious, you have hope, faith, you have zeal, enthusiasm, you have everything. You have purity, every guna, every power is emerged in you. And lust kills that soul consciousness. Lust is the most body conscious activity that you can engage in, the highest form of body consciousness. And when one engages in lust or lustful actions, then lustful thoughts, lustful actions, everything, they kill the purity, they kill the soul consciousness. And then, then Maya takes over completely. And anger also, so, if you have seen somebody who is, who is overtaken by an evil spirit, and then the evil spirit leaves, then also what happens is temporarily they become very disempowered. Have you seen that? So they become very, very weak at that time. So Of course, anger also leaves you like that. So when you have acted out of anger, spoken out of anger, it reduces your power greatly. But then it still, you can again, it's easier to regain consciousness after an act of anger rather than after an act of lust. That's why Baba says that engaging his lust is like falling from the fifth floor. And when you do that, then all your bones are broken, and it takes a long time to gather yourself up. So that is why Baba says that lust is a complete no. So even if you take some time to overcome anger or greed or something, yes, Baba says make effort, because of course until you are totally pure, these vices will be there. But he doesn't say that about lust. Yes, right from the time we become BK, Baba says you have to take the vow of not engaging in lust, not engaging in lustful acts at least. Even if you can't deal with the thoughts right now, so the thoughts will come and you overpower them, that's fine. But then at least acts of lust, you cannot engage in. If you are engaging in that, then Baba says that is not, that person cannot make any progress. So this is why, everything else is purusharth, effort. But brahmacharya is a dharana. Brahmacharya is not effort. Celibacy is not a subject of effort. It is a subject that you have to have. There are 4 things which you have to have for becoming a Raj Yogi. What are those 4 things? First is celibacy, a must. You cannot become a Raj Yogi without being celibate. Second is pure food. Without having pure food, you cannot become a Raj Yogi. Yes. Third is everyday class. Without the fuel of knowledge, and class means murli. First murli. If the food of knowledge doesn't enter the buddhi, nobody can fly to the soul world. Nobody can have yoga with Baba. And fourth is divine virtues. So you have to you have to pledge to be at least one virtue you hold every day in your awareness, and you make that you pledge that whatever happens, I will not give up this virtue today, whether it is cheerfulness or sweetness or patience or whatever. And Baba says that these are the 4 things which are the prerequisite for yoga. And Baba doesn't say you have to be anger free before you become a Raj Yogi. No. But Baba says celibacy is a must. And celibacy and complete purity are not the same thing. Complete purity is a much wider aspect, which we become through yoga, through understanding, through a lot of things, Effort is required for that. But celibacy, right from day one. And if somebody is not celibate, then we don't call them BKs. Pure food, celibacy, these are not compromisable. Okay. Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
This point I liked very much today. Number 1 service is done by being in Swadharma and Swaman. And one point of Murli I liked very much, which I heard earlier. Baba said that today you do parikrama around Shanti's thumb. When you will become an instrument of peace, then I will do parikrama around you. This point touched me very much, and I would like to imbibe this quality
Yes. Very
of
nice.
silence.
Good.
If I do, if I, if I become successful in doing this, all virtues will come under that.
And you will become successful. Why not? Yes. Hanji. Okay. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti ji.
Didi, there are many points in today's Murli. What I really was touched by is we should check why we are here. Why am I here? Excuse me. Why am I here taking Gyan? Why do I attend the classes? Why am I doing what I'm regularly doing? And it becomes my responsibility to make myself a good and disciplined student. That was the one I liked. And then Baba says that if you are not being soul conscious before you are taking this gyan, then it's mere piece of just information, and you're not getting any power from that knowledge, what you should be getting. You are already wasting your time. You're being there, and why don't you take the most out of it?
Correct.
That was really, yeah. And then again, you should have regard for Baba's knowledge. Just moving around and just listening to what he's saying, that's not going to help you anyways. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you. Hanji.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti ji.
I am listening Murli since long, six years around.
Yes.
Today I understand that you do everything purposefully.
Yes.
Which I want to follow that one. Every time I should, every steps, everything in whole day, purposefully if you are doing, and doing the things by what you are imbibing.
Yes.
Then it will work in the society.
Correct.
That I will learn from this class.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti ji.
Today, in this class, when the class was going on, I could visualize that picture where the Raj Yogi was sitting in 4 pillars. And really, every pillar is important for that Raj Yogi to not fall down from that seat. So, this actually discipline is the key for success.
Correct.
In this path. So, we'll definitely try to imbibe.
Yes. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti ji.
Didi, today I learned from the class that we should carefully analyze ourselves that why we are here. And we should be very clear with our purpose. Then only we will be able to move on this path. And the meditation is soul consciousness. Practicing soul consciousness is must if we really want to enjoy this knowledge. Otherwise, at a point of time, we will feel burdened by the information.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay ji.